I don't have anything. Do you have anything?
Nothing except why the elevators keep going out everywhere I am.
Okay, let's see. So you had elevators going out when you were trying to move out of your apartment in Indy, and then the elevator going out when you were trying to move in to your place in Asheville.
Well, the elevator did not go out when I was trying to move in. It worked the whole time, the whole weekend. It was after we got everything done. It went out Sunday evening, which impacted the dog,
Right, which would
which
always
is,
impact the dog because you're on the fourth floor.
yeah, which probably stresses me out more than having to carry my own stuff up and down the stairs.
Right, because she has to go to the bathroom.
And she's heavy and she's old and she can't go up and
Yeah.
down the steps.
Yeah. Okay.
And literally every time I come here, when I was like going back and forth, the elevator would go out at least once every visit.
And it's not going out at other times?
No, Justin's like, it literally only goes out when you're here.
That's so weird.
Sheba was here for 2 weeks. The elevator never went out once.
Only when you're there. Okay, let's
Mhm.
just see if I can get an answer about this. I'll go check in with your higher selves. What is the problem with candy and elevators?
Well, her elevator doesn't go all the way to the top floor.
um, they're kind of wanting like, okay, well, let me just see if there's really a problem or it's just a coincidence. Um, like it's not like, well, it's kind of showing you, it's kind of making you double think about where you're living. Where you're living. Am I choking? Um, so like if this weren't happening, you probably wouldn't think twice about looking for another place.
Right.
You would just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about there that would be better for you to move. I don't know. It's like a tiny bit more space and the ability to be outside more easily.
Hmm.
They're showing you and I, like, you know, they know you have the rooftop, but it's not the same. They're showing you and I sitting at your house when we lived in Nashville together and how often we'd go outside and just sit like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was naturey because there were trees and you know what I mean? It's different
Yeah.
than where you are downtown. So there it's like the inconvenience has to be to Shiva so you pay attention
Oh.
because she also would like to just be able to walk outside of the door and lay on the ground and be in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like it needs to be easier for all of you to get outside and feel nature. They're not saying they're like it doesn't mean the middle of nowhere. It doesn't mean up in the mountains. It just means an accessible more than a balcony in an apartment,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but some kind of space where you all can get outside. Like you all three need it.
Cool. Okay.
The
Yeah.
malfunction in the indie one is because that place is jank.
Well, and it was the same thing. Like
But it's
there was
yeah.
there was
And
no place. Yeah.
it's like they're kind of saying, okay, so it didn't happen when Sheba was there just with Justin because it's mama who's going to push for the change.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be bothering you the most.
Check. Confirmed.
So they're just like,
Jesus.
no rush, but they don't want you to get comfortable because that apartment is cute and you have a good view and all that stuff. And you guys would just kind of stay there because it's easy. But it
Mm-hmm.
feels like energetically you all need some kind of outdoor. They're showing that house you lived in town with that dark porch. They're like, not that. Um, sunshine.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't even they're like even if it were a house downtown with a backyard, it's still nature. It's just the rooftop of a building is not nature.
No, and it's so bright up there. I mean,
Fucking
because
sun.
like the roof part where people hang out because they have like chairs and tables and everything. It's nice. is kind of like that dark, like spongy floor, so it feels nice to walk on. But then outside of the place where the humans are supposed to go, it's painted bright white.
Mm, that helps
So
them
you go
keep
out
the
there and you're like,
bill better. Yeah, but you can't see, right?
mm-mm,
It's just not
no,
relaxing.
no, it feels like you're looking straight into the sun.
Yeah.
So
Um,
it's a lot.
so it's going to be interesting to see if the elevator just starts working now that you're
Now that I got the
concentrating on.
message,
Yeah.
message received, can the elevator please keep working?
Yeah. Now you know you got to look for the places.
Mhm.
Like if you want to, they're just like, that you could get out of your lease early if you wanted to. Um, yeah,
Yeah, there's not
that's
even that
it.
much time left on the lease, really.
Right. So
Okay. All right.
there you go. There's this woman that I follow on Instagram, and I just really struggle because I think everything everyone is saying is so stupid, but I think it could be perimenopause too. But so
Okay.
she's talking about like, I don't know really what she was talking about. It's like protecting your energy or something. And she was kind of saying like, wash your sheets every week. And I was like, actually, that sounds amazing. Um, washing your clothes and like people in the comments are like, yeah, and like rinsing off at the end of the day, which I do think really helps me like kind of cleanse, like just feel reset when I need a reset. I think Lee Harris would be like, it's more about paying attention to how you're feeling. And I think we would say that too. It's more about paying attention to how you're feeling than having to have like a set thing you do. Maybe you do need to rinse off every day, but maybe not. Maybe you're just in the weeds and you need to rinse off at that moment or take a bath or I don't know, be around water, whatever it is for you. So this other thing she said was she doesn't allow people to vent to her because
Okay.
it drains her energy.
Okay.
And she said, then she said she would give them 10 minutes. And then she said, she asked them if they want advice or if they just want to complain. I'm like, that's always a good question, to be
Mm-hmm.
clear. But my problem was with the draining of the energy, which we've talked about before, and the idea that someone else can drain your energy. And I know I used to have the experience of certain people, like I cannot talk to them for very long because I will feel zapped afterwards. And I know you just had this experience recently with someone. But also I think you and I and the higher selves would say people don't actually drain your energy. That's not how it works. So like I
Mm-hmm.
want to like dive into this. So my
Mm.
first question in the bubble is, can someone else drain your energy?
Ooh, I wondered how they were going to answer that question. So what they first they went like, well, from a human perspective, like yes and no, like they were struggling to give a clear response. And I knew what I was feeling while you were talking. It's almost like information was starting to drop in. Um, so what they showed was, and this is what the shamans used to tell us. I think it was the shamans used to talk to us about. Remember how they would be like, like as humans, we're evolving, right? Like we're clearing our shit, we're doing our work, we're going up on the spiral, and then something happens, and we might fall down a little bit, but like we get back up, and we're trying to work through our stuff. And they would talk about how like you can reach up to communicate with someone who's sort of like farther along in the work or in their experience, but it's work to climb up. It's really hard. So sometimes it's easier for that person to just sort of reach down to be like, I'm going to come down to you and we're going to have an interaction.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that that's what feels draining. And then what they showed me was literally a sink drain. And it's
Mm,
that spiral, right? Like it goes in a circle. So when she says it's draining my energy, that's why they're like, energetically, her response is correct because she is lowering her vibration to have the interaction.
mm-hmm.
So it does feel like she's going down the drain, so to speak. But it's not anything that's being done consciously. When you feel that, the like what that's indicating is that there's a misalignment.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your vibration and frequency or how you're feeling is at an 8, like you're having a good day, you're feeling like, oh, like everything's sunny, this is amazing. And then you talk to somebody who's like having a 4 day. For you to be able to interact with them and probably hold space for them, like you're both going to have to come closer to the same frequency, which means that the 8's going to come down to the 4, because it's really hard when you're feeling like a 4 to come up to an 8 or
Mm-hmm.
even a 6. So more than likely the 8 drops down to be in that space so that you can hold space with that person. So it doesn't matter if they're wanting to just complain and for her to listen, or if they're like wanting advice. For that connection to be made, there still has to be more of a frequency connection, which is what feels draining.
That's so interesting because I was going to say, like, it used to happen to me more often, but I feel like I'm able to hold space for people more now, almost like stay in my own energy and let them have their whatever they're doing.
Yeah, because you're consciously being aware of it, and you're not giving your your quote unquote power away to say, oh, they drain my energy. You're taking responsibility to be like, okay, like I'm in control of my own energy. I need to anchor my own space, my own field.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it's like kind of about the like, so when they're talking about 8-4, it's like if the 8 person that's feeling really good, because I can even see this like even recently, like I walk into a room and there's people and they're grumpy, and I'm like, nope, I'm staying here.
mm-hmm,
And you just pull yourself out of it and you don't let your, it's like so subtle.
mm-hmm.
You don't let yourself get your energy get sucked into their frequency. I don't know how to say it.
It's like getting sucked into their story. They're working really hard to like use more normal languaging and explanation so that doesn't feel like it's like some spiritual conversation, because they're like, this is happening to everyone.
Yeah.
So they're showing me like the breath work. So same thing could be like for yoga teachers or anybody who's, or therapists,
Hairstylists.
hairstylists. Yeah, anybody who's dealing with the public, and you might not all be in the same space when you're interacting. Um, you can be at the 8 and be like, oh my God, that person is having such a rough day. They just need me to listen, and I can do that. I can hold that space, and you can stay in your 8. You come down to the 4 when you're trying to like commiserate or like tap into your empathy by actually like feeling, like
Mm,
matching the feelings.
right.
Like empathy works when you become aware of it. Empathy works when you realize that you can hold two opposing views and feelings at the same time. So
Hmm.
I can be super happy about my day and really sad for you about your day, because I know what that feels like, and I can hold both those feelings, being happy for myself but being sad for you, and
Right.
not allowing the sadness to impact my happiness.
Right. It's like having compassion. Man, it's so interesting because it's so subtle.
So subtle. They're like, this is oh, like this is really what most humans are here to work on, is that ability to be aware of all the different spectrums of feelings, and to be able to hold your own space and to not get pulled in, because what they're showing is how so often we're getting pulled in
Hmm.
all these different directions, and they're like, social media is part of the problem, TV is part of the problem,
Yeah.
the news is part of the problem. Like, it's all tugging on you to get your attention, to get your views. So they're using either really high highs or really low lows to pull people in. And what people really could use this as is, okay, check in. How am I feeling right now? Before I like look at anything external, how do I feel inside? Okay, like I feel like, a 7. It's sunny outside, and just got my hair done or whatever, and like, just got some nice feedback from my boss, and um, look cute in my jeans today. Like, oh, and I had this lovely salad. So they're like, do your inventory. Okay, I feel good. Then turn on your stuff, look at your social media or look at the TV, and just feel how it starts to play with it.
Hmm.
And then remind yourself, no, wait, like I'm a 7, and then go through your list again. So like that's the training. Like that's the work.
That is the work. It's so, I
That's
wish
the work.
that like I could draw pictures of it.
Ooh.
I wish I could make it visual. I'm putting
Yeah,
this out
same.
there. Maybe we'll work with someone who's an artist and does animation and they can
Calling all
show
artists.
you what's happening. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of just seeing the two fields, but it's almost like them getting um, intermixed.
Yeah, it's like a Venn diagram. They're like, so one person is over here in the 7 and one person is over here in the 4, and where they overlap is where they merge. But what humans are forgetting is that you have the ability to step back out into your 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just getting like it's so easy to get pulled down because that's where the
Because you've
groove is.
been there
That's where the pattern
before.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because your system is familiar with that because you've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
So Candy and I were talking the other day where like somebody, Lee Harris did this video where he was talking about the 2030 energies and how it's going to be like so much lighter, but some people are kind of living in the 2030 energies. And sometimes I'm like in such a good mood and then I go out and I'm on a walk and I'm like, I say hi to someone from this really good bubbly place and they're like, ugh. And I'm like, oh, right.
All right.
Right. Sorry. We're having a bad day. Like,
Right.
it's kind of like little kids that are like bouncing around, you're like, dee. And then if they would say hi to someone, the adult would then respond with the same level of enthusiasm because they're a kid probably. But because you're an adult, they're like, ugh. You're like, oh, right.
Right.
We're having a shit day. Got you.
They love the kid example. Because a kid feeling a 7 bounces into a kid that's feeling a 4 and is like, oh buddy, sorry you're having a bad day, okay, talk to you tomorrow, and they just like
Yeah, or they'll be like,
out.
do you want a piece of chocolate? And
Right.
then
They're not
they
going to
don't.
be like, oh, let me commiserate with you. They're going to be like, nope, I'm having a good day, I'm going to go play
Well,
with my Tonka truck over here.
there must also be sort of like, I don't know if it's like a social decorum kind of thing or like a social norm type of thing
Yeah, like
where
etiquette.
like if you would bounce into that and be like, la la la, anyway, the other person would be like, you're a dick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Read the room.
read the
We're in a
room.
shit
I'm
mood.
mad. I'm mad. So like, it is something I have been playing with lately.
How weird is that is the etiquette is
Right?
you do read the room and it's like, oh, you're having a shit day, so I need to like temper my excitement versus the person who's having the shit day to the person who's having the great day be like, oh, you're having a great day, I need to pull myself up out of this shit mood for a minute and honor your good day. Why do we always go down?
Why do we always
Because
go down?
it's the path of least resistance.
It's the path of least resistance. Totally.
Mm.
God forbid you bring excitement into someone's life and they match it.
God forbid.
And it's sometimes, even
Praise
with everything
be.
that's going on the news and everything, I'm like, I'll forget about it. Like, I'll forget about Instagram for like an entire day and be like, oh, yeah, I should see what's going on. And then, like, then someone will mention something. You're like, oh, yeah, like, I guess the world is kind of shit right now. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No.
dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Right. I totally forgot all about all that shit that's going on. Right. But I would have definitely been the person a few years ago where I would have been in the weeds, super like amped about everything. And now I'm just like, it's going to move forward. It's going to move on.
Yeah.
We're in this crazy like period of time where everything is changing.
Yeah.
And it was always going to be a dumpster fire. If you talk to any astrologer, they're all going to say the same thing. So we're exactly where we should be. It depends on, you got to decide what to focus on.
It is true. And I mean, Laura knows this. I do like to dive down into the weeds. I like that because I like to sort of like,
yeah, but you don't get, this is the difference.
I don't get spun up.
You don't get spun up about it now anymore, comma.
Correct.
Anymore.
Comma, anymore. And that's what I was just going to say. I don't get spun up in it, comma, anymore, because now I've learned part of it's the whisper training practice, but part of it is like legit living through some shitty experiences, right? Like we lived through COVID, we lived through all this other stuff where I feel like the universe is always giving us messages. And now I've just learned to, like, when I go down in the weeds and I'm watching the stories and I'm reading the articles and I'm like, oh my God, we are a not serious country led by not serious people. Like, this is the worst. How do I get out of it? I literally watched a video yesterday by some woman. She's a young mom. Well, I mean, young. She's probably in her 30s, mid 30s. She was like beside herself. She's like, I just put my kids down to bed. Like, my husband's off doing his own thing, and I have got to tell you, like, I do not know what it's going to take, but if somebody needs to take the fall and lead the charge, I will be your girl. I will pick the date for the rally. I will make sure that we have whatever ammunition we need. I will lead the storming of the Capitol, but we need these people out of office. Like, and you could tell that she was sincere and just trying to hold it together. She's like, I'll go to jail for this because this is not right. And I was like, I watched it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I could feel how she felt. So then I just, like, what I've been doing is just like putting my hand on my chest and tuning in and being like, are we okay? And I get like an immediate yes or no. Are we okay? Yes. And every time it's like, yes, it's just part of it. Everything's going to be okay. And so I know, like, as long as I can tune in, then like that, it's like a grounding force kind of like, okay, like, we made it through COVID. We made it through other shitty stuff. We can make it through this.
Well, and I think too, it's like, then people would say, well, there are people that aren't okay. But what
Totally.
I turn to then is the telepathy tapes, because now they've got, I mean, they have so many different episodes about near death experiences, but this is just a physical body for a temporary time. And there's all kinds of stuff on the other side that we don't, that is way better than whatever we're doing here. And so,
Yeah. And every day, every second of every day, there are people that are not okay.
yeah.
Always. That's always going to be the case. Our souls, came here to have experiences, but there's no part of me that thinks that my soul came here to die in a fiery death war like World War III.
No. No, supposedly when that gets started, the aliens are going to grab the nuclear bombs out of the air and show
Fix
themselves.
it all.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I don't know if it's true. I didn't do the research, but someone was talking about how Notre Dame actually predicted that World War III started,
Like
I think, like,
1999.
well, either around there or like maybe like really kicked off with 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And
26 years.
we've been in it this whole time, and like now we are nearing the end of it.
That makes
So
sense. It's been a
it
lot of
does.
wars. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Um, okay, to pivot to a new topic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody posted, and it was like a neurologist or something, these things that you can say to yourself before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this day is over.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything that I could.
Yeah, I saw this too.
My body can rest now.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Maybe my mind can rest. My body is safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's okay for me to grow slowly.
Mm-hmm.
My life, create the life that I want with small steps. It's so good. Have you been doing it?
I haven't been doing it, but I saw that same thing, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff along that spectrum, which is also why, like, social media can be good. Like, it can
Mm-hmm.
inform us and give us amazing tools. But it makes sense, right? Because the mind it's a problem solving machine. So the only, like, it feels good when it's solving problems, and of course there are lots of problems now to be solving. And depending on what's happening for you and in your chart and all the other stuff, like, the mind can just get stuck in that energy of, like, we're still in problem mode,
Yeah.
and so it just keeps looping. This is what I noticed before the HRT. Like, the loops
Yeah.
were insane. Well, probably the HRT and the GLP-1, because I do think that the GLP-1 also, like, it stops all the looping.
Mm-hmm.
The food looping, the exercise looping, the shopping looping, the, like, I gotta fix the world looping. But yeah, like, you're just giving your mind permission. You're resetting it. You're like, you did everything. You're done.
Yeah.
And the mind is like, oh, right.
Right. It is
It wants
crazy.
to believe the story.
And I think that would be a useful tip at 3 o'clock in the morning if you wake up.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
this one was a
sure.
good one. I don't have to solve tomorrow today.
Oh, yeah. Boy, guilty.
Like, even just that sentence alone is, and I've done enough today. I think those two sentences are the ones that, like, you can almost feel it in your body. Like, what's the most true sentence for me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
that
I mean,
one.
we've talked about it before. I feel like that's what 2025 was. Like it just everything got shifted up and twisted around for me, and I didn't even know what to solve for.
Yeah.
Like literally, my mind didn't even know what to loop on. I was like, okay, everything is different. I can't grab a hold of anything. So yeah, so then you have to take it one step at a time. I'll just do what the next breadcrumb leads me to.
Hmm.
So I think it is powerful, the mind. It's a beast.
It's a beast.
That's a good one though. I should write that down.
I should, what I'll do is I'll grab them and I will make sure they're underneath this video slash podcast episode so everybody can grab them.
Perfect.
Wish I could give credit to who's like, whatever. I have no idea. Should,
Yeah.
well, although I may have sent it to you. I don't know. Um, yeah, Candy and I one time talked about having, maybe we'll do this in the future, another podcast that's just called Spiritual Bullshit, where we hear people say stupid shit and then we ask the higher selves about it.
Yeah, like that woman saying like people drain me. Stop giving away your power.
I know. That's what I said. I was like, I'm going to get on the comments. It's like, Laura, stop. You don't care that much. But I do want to
That
get to the
you
bottom of it.
like we're such powerful beings.
Like, I'm not going to let someone do that to me. Like, just that sentence is very victimhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Versus you could be like, sure, I don't like when people are complaining at me for 20 minutes, but you decide if you want to be in that situation or not.
Just own the boundary.
But they're not doing it to you, they're suffering.
Right. Right.
I was talking to someone yesterday about how I've had to train myself to be like friendly, I guess. to be more to be more of like an extrovert, because my first job out of college, my boss was like, you need to be nicer. I mean, this is a different time, Gen Z, than it used to be. And he was like, you need to be nicer to the nurses, because we would travel to hospitals and we work with nurses. That's a long story. But he's like, you need to be nicer to them. I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. And so like, he's like, he literally told me to smile more. But he was serious. You know what I mean? Not like just walking down the street. And so I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what he means. I think it's like, ask them about their kids and their dogs. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I don't care about their kids and their dogs. But now I was telling this person, I was like, but now I do ask people about their kids and their dogs. I still don't care about them, but I know how much they would love to talk about it. And therefore I know making them happy actually makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
So I do it from that perspective, even though I will not remember your kids or your dog's names in 3.5 minutes. Not happening.
So true.
But I'm like, I can give them the experience of talking about something they love, and that makes me feel good. Yeah. So I feel like I've evolved quite a bit from trying to force extroversion. Why do we have to force extroversion? Why can't the extroverts shut the fuck up? How about that? Huh? When do the introverts get to take over and tell everybody to shut the fuck up?
Oh my God, right? We could really use
introvert that here. House. Don't talk to me about that. I don't care. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
That is good. I do like that.
Yeah. Trying to think if I have anything else that's jumping out. I think that piece that we just went through, not so much the focus on the draining energy, but the scale, and the monitoring yourself or checking in with yourself. That we have talked about this in the past, but I think it's actually something we could use in the intro course that we're going to be building.
Oh yeah. Well, that's actually a good normal example of whenever I interact with some people, I feel drained, exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to go back to that, like, who have I used to talk to? I'd be like, ugh, they're calling, and I'd be like, oh God. And now I just sort of, it's kind of like, I just treat it like a soap opera. Ooh,
Yeah.
what's going on now in Days of Our Lives?
Oh,
You
Marla's
feel
alive
so
again.
detached. Like, are you really that attached to Marlena being
Right.
possessed or whatever the fuck happened and Sammy's relationship? I mean, probably some people are, but if you can be that detached from a television show, like you can detach yourself, like hold space for them, which I think is also a really valuable skill that we learned at that yin yoga training where we
Mm-hmm.
sat there and we're not allowed to say anything or move our face or smile. And someone told a story of something that had happened to them that was difficult. And then you just sat there and you couldn't even look at them or smile or move or make any kind of face. It was so hard, but it was so good because they knew you were listening, but you didn't have to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be the same as if you told your dog a story about something traumatic that had happened to you. And the dog would just lick your face and then go take a shit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the neutrality, like the staying in your own kind of field. I just think that's like staying in your own self and your own, I don't know how to say it, system
Mm-hmm.
while you're witnessing whatever, everything on the news, things on Instagram. It's that learning to come back to your own system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be, well, yeah, and to be aware of how it's impacting the system.
Well, right. And then like I think that's what breath work is. The breath work that you do is so helpful is because it gives people a baseline. How do they know what that feels like if they're not really ever feeling it?
Totally. I
But
had no
the
idea until I
breath
felt it.
work can clear you out so much. And it might, you're in that class, maybe it lasts the rest of the evening or whatever, but you have a baseline and you do that enough times. And I think I used to take yoga all the time, and Shavasana at the end of class gives you that baseline. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of have
Yeah.
enough time, you've moved your body enough, you've cleared some stuff out, you have the stillness and quiet, and they're just shortening that fucking thing constantly because people are so insane. But I would always try to give people like the full 8 to 10 minutes because they don't get that just total stillness where they're allowed, like they've moved. I think because the point of yoga, right, is to move your body enough that you can then meditate.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so that's people are being like tricked into meditating by laying in shavasana at the end of a class. But it's that space and that silence. I mean, you would say you were in corporate America, just go, 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 go. Yoga
Yeah.
broke you, just like it breaks
Total.
everyone
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah, it did because it was the shavasana in a yoga class was literally the only time I would feel probably calm and normal and like there was nothing that I needed to do. Just
Yeah,
being
somebody was
was
going to
enough.
wake you up. They weren't going to leave you.
Yes.
You didn't have to set an alarm. You weren't responsible for the next thing. So you could just settle. And that's what the breath work does too, right? It's the same kind of like, it's a way more powerful clearing of the physical and emotional bodies. And then this space to just be there while someone holds space for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not responsible for setting an alarm to get up, and you're not going to miss anything.
Mm-mm.
They're gonna get you up if you need to, if you passed out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that you come back, feel your body, you're able to leave the room. Yeah, we're not
And
gonna
then you
leave you
get to
there.
go the rest of the day or however long memorizing that feeling. And then like it's a repetition, right? You got to do it over and over again so that you get used to it. And then you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's my baseline. Yeah.
Oh, that's the real me. That's what it feels like, oh, that's the real me.
Mm-hmm.
This other stuff are, it's emotions that I'm stepping into throughout the day. But this is the real me.
Yeah. All right, one more thing. Is there anything else the higher selves want to speak up about today?
Mhm. I thought I was seeing something, but I feel like
They're
it's
like,
them.
no.
I'm shaking my head like you would shake a what is that? Magic 8 ball.
Shake it up.
Shake it up. Is there anything else they want us to know? Well, they gave the dust off with the hands and then they did jazz snaps. It was just like this was a lot. This is good information. From this information, some people are going to have some questions. So if you heard this and you're just like, either I don't understand or I need more, or I want you to relate this to this personal thing that's happening in my life. Like, send it in. Send it in to us. We would love to explore things deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you hear stuff online that you think, I wonder if that's really
Hmm.
true, or that sounds stupid, feel free to send us a question about it
Totally. We
because we
love
love
that
that
stuff.
stuff. Yeah. Like, do you need to wash your sheets every week? I mean, that sounds glorious, honestly. I was like, yes. But do you need to?
No, they just said no, and then they showed like a human could literally sleep in on a bed of leaves
Yeah.
and be
Why are you
fine.
talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're having a skeeved out reaction to your nasty sheets that are sweaty, which she mentioned, I was like, I guess you'd want to change them. But
Hmm.
like, what? Anyway, please
Yeah.
beware of all of the rules people are giving you out there on the internet
Yeah.
because
Best of luck.
they're not, there's no hard and fast rule for anything for anyone. Okay. We'll see you next time for the April energies.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, we're making our way there. See you soon.
That wraps this episode of One Card Shy. Did you love it? Leave us a review, share it with your friends, and sign up for our monthly crown straightener. Bonus, you'll get our free Claim Your Crown guide when you subscribe.
And be sure to find us on Instagram and check out our website. Both are rainworld.co. All the links are below. See you next time, Queens.